Good afternoon from beautiful Slovenia.
Hey, Julie. It's great to be here in Slovenia with you at the DynamicsMinds event. And we have a special guest today. It's Joe Corigliano. Hey, Joe.
Jason, Julie, great to be here. We are all overlooking the Adriatic Sea right now. So envision this beautiful hotel where we're sitting and looking at the Adriatic Sea as we meet different Dynamics people and listen to different sessions. It's pretty cool.
So I think we've probably all taken several photos. Maybe we can throw some of those in with our show notes this time to give people the mindset of sitting here looking at the water and the beautiful scenery around us for this great conference.
Yeah.
So I've been going to conferences for 20 years, and this one is kind of knocked it out of the park. It's been a great experience. How about for you, Joe?
This is one unique conference put on by one unique set of people, and they do things differently, and it's educational, it's entertaining. They spare no expense to create a great environment. It's unique in every sense of the word, and hey, people love it. They were outside of my door room till 2 a.m. dancing and frolicking last night. I heard them. It's a lot of energy.
So what have you been up to here at the conference besides the fun factor?
Yeah, thank you, Julie. So just as a background, I run alliances at a company called Ciellos. Ciellos is a partner's partner. We are officially recognized by Microsoft as an ISV development center, and we do services for Dynamics partners. I've been with Ciellos 15 months, and I started something called the Microsoft Partner Acceleration Program. And that is a set of services to help partners really align and track to what Microsoft requires. That could be around certification, that could be around the partner program, that could be around incentives, marketplace. But we have really deep domain knowledge of understanding how to get on the radar of Microsoft and how to track with what they would like partners to do. And I love doing that stuff.
Are you seeing any trends evolve from your conversations this week?
Yeah. Yes. Good question. I had a full house this morning, 60 people, and I asked people to raise their hand if they were responsible for a partner center in their company. And I'd say about 30 people raised their hand. And then I said, how many people really understand to navigate partner center and understand how to leverage it for incentives or to track certification? And 3 of the 30 raised their hand. It's a challenging thing for partners who run their business and manage payroll and sell to customers and deploy and track all the things required from a technical perspective to understand the business side of Microsoft. And that's a challenge. And unless you have a partner development manager, which I used to be, it's a tax, and partners have to, mostly services partners, have to figure out how they navigate it. So that's the trend. Is we don't know how to make sure we're earning the right incentives. We don't know how to get to the new solution designation of 70. We don't know how to keep above 70. If we talk about app source, we don't know, the impact of a transactability. So there's a lot that the show is uncovering.
So how much of, I guess, the partner conversation revolves around things like enablement and skills and certifications?
Yeah. In the context of a conversation I'm having, it comes up around getting to that 70 score to get the new badging that Microsoft requires with their partner program. So as a backdrop, the world of gold and silver partners is going away. Microsoft hasn't set an end to date yet, but assume that it's going to be in the next 1 to 2 years. The new way is there's a business application designation. You need to get 70 total points or above to earn that, and that helps you stand out among the Biz App partners in the world. One of those 3, there's 3 things that go into it. Certification and training is one of the components that get you to the 70 score. And the other is your net customer adds and your deployments. So in context of partners need to track certs to be able to get the new designation within Microsoft, it's kind of a big deal.
Yeah. I mean, are you hearing any particular concerns or places where partners are working very hard to get to that 70, where maybe they're missing it right now?
Yeah, it's come up all week, Jason. In general, Microsoft want partners to perform to get to the 70, which means you're selling new customers and you're deploying them and you're maintaining your certs. For the smaller partners, it's a challenge.
And you're also keeping your existing customers active and not seeing their utilization drop off, right?
Correct.
That's a big one. And that maybe even gets into sort of the training requirement that partners have to have on helping their users learn, helping their clients perhaps learn, and having not just a time and materials sort of implementation, but ongoing support for those customers, right?
Yes.
I feel like that falls by the wayside though, as partners are so focused on selling net new, right?
Yeah, they're selling net new. You kind of an interesting thing from the conference, and you and I had an interesting conversation last night. I'm seeing a trend of just partners that are starting up just to support existing customers' deployments. And their business model is they don't sell. And they actually don't care whether they get to the 70 designation, because what they want to do is help customers utilize what they have. So what I'm seeing is partners that add to the ecosystem because they're helping get customers live, get customers to utilize what they already have purchased from Microsoft. So in those cases, they are, sometimes getting leads from Microsoft, or sometimes they have tight relationships with some of the larger GSIs who they'll have a handshake to bring them in.
Yeah. And I think in some cases getting pulled into those projects. And I've heard some of the same ideas or approaches, and it's really, a different world, I think. And maybe the levels of the partners have to reach is shaping that some feel it's not worth chasing those priorities or whatever.
If I think at a macro level, Dynamics is growing. The number of FSC instances are growing, the number of BC instances. And there's just we have a kind of a global capacity issue of helping partners really optimize the Dynamics stack. So yes, I think there's different business models where partners who understand how to help partners through a methodology to deploy where it may not have been done on the initial sale, there's an opportunity there. And, I've heard a couple of instances of that already in this conference.
Yeah, there are plenty of small partner-like organizations, such as mine. We've trained and enabled more than 1 million people, but that doesn't mean that I'm going to sell your licenses or you're going to find something from me on AppSource. But we know that we're all supporting the same ecosystem. Without
a doubt. And, we talked earlier, what's kind of a shame, I'll go on this tangent, is that Microsoft doesn't value, Microsoft's partner programs are kind of one size fit all. So unless you're selling and deploying, there's not a lot of recognition they'd give for a company's business model like you, where you help thousands of customers, help deploy. So it's a legit topic. But we also have a pretty good community that we're seeing this week here at the event where we're all supporting one another. There's room in this ecosystem for all of us to succeed. We don't have to be in competition with each other. Yeah, without a doubt. I mean, and it's very much a relationship-based ecosystem, right? We sell B2B, and we are a B2B community. And so, yes, the relationships that are established can help form various business models and successful companies. I got roped into a licensing conversation this morning, and my response was, there is no licensing conversation in training. Everything is possible. Yeah.
Yeah. When it comes to partners that you're talking to that are really seeing good success, are there any that are standing out because of the skills that they're bringing in particular I don't know if you can bring it down to the particular certification level, but particular skills, particular expertise that is really helping any of the partners that you talk to, secure more deals, more customers, anything like that?
Yeah, I'll reframe the question to say, who are some of the most valuable employees at a partner? Without a doubt, the pre-sales engineers. Those are the guys that are hard to find, that can scope opportunities and size them. And like, if the three of us were to start an FSC partner, we would want to bring in the very best FSC pre-sales engineer. And that, what I've seen over the years is once that person is on board, you have an opportunity to grow from that platform.
Yeah, I just and seeing a little information about how Microsoft actually operates its own sales machine, the technical sales is such a key element of that, right? And getting those experts involved in deals seems to be one of Microsoft's top priorities. So I assume partners can learn from that.
Without a doubt, it's a good point. I'll draw a reference in the U.S. I'll just name somebody. There's a gentleman named Howard Swerdloff, runs a pre-sales technical team out of the southeastern U.S. I think he has about 8 or 9 people. And those are the front people knocking on the doors, really getting interest in Microsoft's managed customers around FSC. So my point there is that they lead. They are joined by these Microsoft solution salespeople, but it's having that technical team up front, which is bringing a lot of opportunities to Microsoft in the enterprise.
Julie, when you work with people being trained or groups being trained, do you see the pre-sales element from partners?
We do. And when I'm training pre-sales technologists, I tell them my goal is to teach them the truth so they can sell the truth. So once they've sold it, then the team who's going to make it can succeed. And I think that partnership can't be emphasized enough, that you've got great pre-sales folks that are selling the moon. Just make sure that your delivery team can also then deliver the moon.
It makes a heck of a lot of sense.
So I'm going to circle back to community. What kind of an influence does community have on maintaining that learning environment, that safe place for everyone to bring each other up and not necessarily have to be in constant competition with one another?
Yeah, I love this question and I love this topic. And Julie, you and Jason have been community advocates and leaders for a long time. But let me just say, I'll answer the question first by saying there can't be enough community within Biz Apps. We need to develop community because it's a global product. It's a global company. Microsoft doesn't do a lot directly to build community like maybe a Salesforce does. I mean, Salesforce builds community. They have 100,000 people come to San Francisco and they have, famous bands play and they are a Biz Apps company. So within the world of Microsoft, within the world of Biz Apps, community is huge. And this event is a great example. You can see there's, raving fans that come out for this event. There's obviously Community Summit in North America. There's the Dynamics user groups. But community is huge. I think with Summit in October, there's 600 sessions and there were 1,500 topics that were submitted. So the depth of topics that I see at this event and at Community Summit showcases the need for the learning and readiness. I mean, 80 to 90% of the sessions here are technical content given by MVPs. And so it's huge. These events are a huge place where readiness happens.
Well, I was having a conversation with another MVP here at this event, and we were talking about community and how, if I remembered for nothing else, that I wanted to make sure there was a community available, that everyone felt welcome in, that everyone felt encouraged, that I'm okay with that. That if I helped you on a project, great. But if I made you feel welcome and knew that you belonged somewhere, I'm good.
I share that. And it's a beautiful legacy, actually, Julie, to have that in mind. So yeah, I'm totally with you. We need community and we need people, leaders in community like yourself and others.
Okay. So last question for you. What are you doing after this event? What kind of things are on your radar? Where are you going to spend some energy and focus when you leave this beautiful area?
Yeah, what a thoughtful question. Well, I've met a bunch of partners that need help navigating Microsoft. So we're going to have some conversations with them. We do an assessment where we look at training and certification as well as other aspects of the partnership, and we give management recommendations. We call that the Microsoft Partner Acceleration Program. And then on top of that, in terms of community, I'm helping lead an event in July called the Biz Apps Partner Summit. It will be produced by Dynamic Communities. It's July 24, 25 in Bellevue. And the key there is to have a early to the fiscal year opportunity for partners to come in 24 hours, hear from Microsoft their key strategies, because after July 1st, they're armed with new incentives and new partner strategies and new solution plays. All of that is out of embargo, so to speak, on July. And so Microsoft leaders will be sharing that. So I'm excited about that event, helping get that off the ground and getting partners to it, because I just love connecting partners closer to Microsoft.
Yeah, and July is the perfect time for that. As someone who works in the Microsoft ecosystem, July is just quiet. It's when we all plan our vacations. It's when things get quieter for us. So I think that's the perfect timing for that event.
Thanks to Microsoft. My Microsoft leadership recommended July. They recommended the event will be in Bellevue, right next to Redmond, so that Microsoft leaders can attend without having to travel. It is a 24-hour event. It starts at 1:00 on a Wednesday. It ends at 1:00 on a Thursday. And the themes of the event is helping partners understand how to scale their business while in the midst dazzling customers and making customers really happy. So I think it's a start. You guys knew Extreme 365. There was something in the past that I helped with. And so, back to partner community, these events are needed.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think your work here at DynamicsMinds is in a similar spirit, right? So I think and I've sat in on quite a few of the sessions you helped organize. I think we have one more even after we record this, where we're going to be talking about working with Microsoft. That conversation really can go on and on, right? So
yeah.
Thanks for being here. Thanks for doing all this organizing and for sharing it with us here.
Thank you. I really love doing it, Jason. Thanks. It's fun being on with you guys.
Thanks for listening to this episode recorded live at the DynamicsMinds 2024 conference. To learn more about our guests and the event, please check out links in the show notes. You can also find more information on the Biz Apps Classroom podcast, including past episodes, how to get a discount on an annual plan at 365.training, and how to keep up with the community. To reach us, you can send an email, julie@365.training or jason@msdynamicsworld.com. We'll see you next time in the Biz Apps Classroom.